Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It's good to see you guys as well. Inshallah, let's take a few questions in the night ta'ala. First question says, Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's good to see you, brothers and sisters as well. Abu Aisha from London, UK. Hey yo, assalamu alaikum. Can we clap for a frontline stance once a week at a specific time? Good morning, how are you?
Good. He won't hurt you. He loves people.
Yeah? Oh man.
You're afraid of dogs?
No, not afraid. Just, personal space, That's all. Not afraid, though.
Come on, baby.
Have a good day. The realities of living in the United States. And other countries as well. So, alhamdulillah, as we always try to do it here, it's live stream. Live stream. Nothing is edited, nothing is cut out, nothing is predicted or scripted. It is what it is. Sitting in a park, guy walks up to you with a dog, and the dog wants to be friendly and, sniff you and try to lick you. A very interesting fact when it comes to dogs and the dog culture in the U.S. with the kuffar. I think the Muslims can take a great lesson from this. And that is that they're not afraid or ashamed or scared of their culture. They're not afraid or ashamed or scared of their culture. We like dogs. We love dogs. We cherish dogs. Some people may even worship the dog. The dog is my friend, my best friend. And you're expected to do the same. And if you don't do the same or have the same attitude or love or passion, as if something's wrong with you. So you see the gentleman who just walked past, may Allah guide him. As the dog came close to me, if I was scared of a dog, I probably would have jumped up, ran, or screamed, or kicked the dog, or stabbed the dog, or something like this. I'm just sitting there keeping my calm, keeping my composure, and the dog is in my inner space, right? And the first question he says, are you scared of dogs? Like, what's the matter? You don't want this dog sniffing you, licking you, putting his face up on you? Is something wrong with you? Are you scared of dogs? No, I'm not scared of dogs, but does that mean I have to want the dog to be up on me, in my lap, kissing me and licking me? So the Muslims, I think we should take a lesson from this, and that is we should stop being scared and afraid of our religion and our Islamic culture and the things that we do. We shouldn't be ashamed and embarrassed. And what's the matter? Oh, I don't want to do this in public, or I don't want to pray in public, or I don't want my wife to wear the niqab because, or let me trim my beard because, or maybe we shouldn't say this and maybe we should hide this. Use some wisdom, use some hikmah, which we're scared and we're afraid. So we should be mindful of that, and they're willing to spread their culture and impose it upon you. God clearly said, are you scared of dogs? Why don't you want the dog licking and kissing you on your clothes? So that's something to be mindful of. And once again, brothers and sisters, as you just saw, the reality of it, America. And that has to have an effect upon our fiqh and our understanding, is that this is not the Middle East. It's not the Middle East. It's not Saudi Arabia. It's not Yemen. It's not Egypt. It's not the UK. It's not the UK. It's not France. This is the United States. And I'm sure the brothers and the sisters in your different countries and respected towns, I'm sure you can relate to it as well. There are things in the UK that we can't relate to in America. Or we can relate to them, but they're different. It's tailor-made. All right? Also, the fiqh ruling with regards to the dog, is the dog najis? The black dog, the dog was black, is a shaitan. What's meant by that hadith? Okay. If a dog licks you, the dog licked my hand a bit, is the dog's mouth najis? Is it closed najis? So on and so forth. What will happen, right? And alhamdulillah, we've done a few classes and lectures and khutbahs on dogs in Islam and the importance of and the status of dogs in the Quran and in the Sunnah and the proper and improper behavior with regards to them. All right? And Allahul Musta'an. Tayyib. Sorry for that disturbance, guys. But like we said, that's a part of the live stream, right? Okay. So clapping for front line once a week. You mean front line, like frontline staff? What do you mean, like first responders? I'm not really too sure on the question. What's important is if you wish to applaud someone, you shouldn't clap. You should stay away from clapping. You shouldn't clap if you don't necessarily have to clap. And Allah knows best. Tayyib. Question says, from AAC for Augusta, Sweden. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallahu khairan for asking. May Allah bless you in Sweden. Ameen. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa marhaba bik. Aliyah, Waladun. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Caliph Basha. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Where are you? In Allah's earth. Fi ardillah, huh? Tayyib. Muhammad Salah from Farwaniya, Kuwait. Hope you're doing well. May Allah bless you. Come to Kuwait after the pandemic. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Bi'idhnillah. Inshallah. Masa Fofana, MF, Staten Island, New York. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What to say to a friend who has lost hope in Allah and feels like nothing is going well for them? Losing hope in Allah's mercy is a major sin. It's one of the worst sins to have. And unfortunately, it is one of the tricks of shaitan. Whereas you do a sin or sins, chronic sins, you keep doing sins, you do sins for years, and then you feel like, it's no hope for me. It's no way that I can get out of this or stop this sin or rectify my situation, etc. And that's a double sin. So it's better to sin and make tawbah, sin to make tawbah, and to sin and never to make tawbah and say that it's over. All right, that's a major sin. As we've explained in Al-Kaba'ir of Al-Dhahabi, rahimahullah, seeking or having despair from Allah's mercy. And Allahul Musta'an. In Marlodi, California, Mufti, I wonder who they feel was given the names of all the hypocrites of that time only. That which is apparent is the hypocrites of Medina and the surrounding areas of Medina, and not the hypocrites towards the end of time in this one. And no. Allahu Alam. KB, Newark, New Jersey. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Is it bid'ah to say Sadaqallahu al-Azim after reciting the surah of the ayats? If so, what is the sunnah? Barakallahu feek. Alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Fikum barakallah. That should not be said. And there are many scholars who say that it is a bid'ah to say Sadaqallahu al-Azim after the reciting of the Quran. The sunnah is to just do what the Prophet did. That's it. He recited the Quran and then he stopped. You don't have to say anything specific. If a person says Sadaqallahu al-Azim out of the blue, that's one thing. Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Subhanallah, that's one thing. But the problem is, guys, and it's very important for us to understand this with regards to systematic programming. That's what defines the bid'ah. Because there's no doubt, Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Allah, the most great, has spoken the truth. But not every single time you say that afterwards. That's when it becomes bid'ah. And Allah knows best. Tayyib. Initials AM from Meknes, Morocco. Assalamu alaikum, akhi. Your opinion, which is better, Ibn Qudama Mughni or Nailul Awtar, and why? Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wouldn't compare the two. They have two different styles. Al-Mughni is a book of fiqh. It's a Hanbali book of fiqh. Even though it does mention comparative fiqh. There is Al-Fiqh al-Muqaran in that book, no doubt. There are statements of other madhahib and there are proofs and evidences of other madhahib in that book, yes. Nail al-Awtar also mentions comparative fiqh and the proofs and evidences of the different madhahib. But Nail al-Awtar is a man, Kutub al-Shuruh. It's an explanation of a hadith book, Muntaqa al-Akhbar, which is min ahadith al-Ahkam, and it is not the same style, same school, same method, or same technique as a book like Mughni. So it's a difference. So Al-Mughni is an explanation and is a summary of another Hanbali book, of other Hanbali books. And FYI, there's a lineage of the different books in any madhab. But let's say method in madhab Imam Ahmed. Okay? We have method in the su'alat, the questions that they asked Imam Ahmed. And then the books that were put together, okay? Kashaf al-Qanna', al-Insaf, al-Sharh al-Kabir, Ikhtisar al-Khiraqi, all right? Rawd al-Murbi', all right? etc. Those different books of the Hanbali madhab, right? One is an explanation, one is a summary, one is notes, one is criticizing, one is. It's a lineage. And Al-Mughni is in that line of that lineage of Hanbali books. So Nail al-Awtar and Mughni are two different books, two different schools. Nail al-Awtar is an explanation of hadiths. Shawkani brings the sharh, and then he mentions the comparative views on the fiqh issues. So they're two different books, two different styles rather. If I had to pick between one of the two, of course I will go with Nail al-Awtar without a doubt. I will go with Nail al-Awtar because that's fiqh al-sunnah, fiqh al-hadith, and that is no disrespect or taking anything away from Al-Mughni, which is a book that I have in my library. I've had in my library for many years, and I've read and benefited from it countless times. And Allah surely knows best. Question says, Ali from New Jersey, USA. Can istikhara be performed after 2 rak'ah of Salatul Duha, or does one need to pray 2 additional sunnah rak'ah? That's the best thing to do. The best thing to do is to make 2 rak'ah specific to istikhara, even though the hadith is general, because the duha is not faridah. But the best thing to do is to make a special one for istikhara. Wallahu alam. Question says, or is from EA, Valenciennes, France. What is the middle path regarding spreading dawah on social media? Some people spend hours and hours just giving dawah on social media, but leaves reading the Quran and durus. Allahu musta'an. Yani, you can't teach people and neglect yourself and abandon yourself. Sometimes you have to give precedence to others. Sometimes you have to be selfless. Some things you may have to neglect from time to time, but it should never be a thing which you totally abandon and neglect yourself. And one of the greatest and most important things for a Muslim to do is to have a connection with the Book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, minimize or manage your time better. 24 hours out of the day is a very long time. Secondly is, learn how to kill more than one bird with one stone, inshallah ta'ala, with regards to studying the Quran and teaching it and reviewing it through the teachings on social media. Wallahu alam. AS from London, UK. I heard once I once had a dream where I was urinating blood. What can this mean? Allahu alam. It depends. It depends on your lifestyle. It depends what type of life that you're leading. A person urinating in a dream, where you're urinating, how you're urinating, was it painful? You have to send the necessary details, inshallah ta'ala. Wallahu alam. MJ, Bronx, New York. Is it permissible to say Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un when disbelievers die? Death is death. It's not the same as a believer dying, but death is death. The hadiths of the Prophet stood up when the Jewish man or the Jewish funeral procession went by, and they said that it is the janazah of a Yahudi. Death is death. Reminder of death is a reminder of death, no matter what. However, it's not the same as a believer. Wallahu alam. AS, London, UK. Is it permissible to open a bank account and put money in with the intention of allowing interest money to build up so I can give it in charity? I would say stay away from that. Avoid that, inshallah ta'ala. As far as if you had money all of those years and then later on you figured out that it was haram, or you came to the realization it was haram and you wanted to do something with it instead of wasting it, that's a different story. But to open it up specifically with the intention of collecting the interest, I would tell you to avoid that. Wallahu alam. Mahmoud G from ATL, Georgia. My sibling makes a lot of statements against the scholars of the Sunnah, saying they are deviant and differs on the Qibla direction in America. How should I approach it? Just give him advice. Tell him to do that which is best. I hope you guys can clearly see what we try to do at HadithDisciple. You see, oftentimes, I don't answer a question directly. Sometimes I do, but oftentimes I clearly mention what's best. Stay away from it. You shouldn't do it. It doesn't mean that I don't know the answer, or there's no proof, or there's no specific opinion that I have regarding. But you can't lose by giving someone general precautionary advice. So someone says, can I listen to music? And I tell them, stay away from it. It's best to avoid. Does it mean music's halal? it is or it isn't, just stay away from it. Can I put the money in the bank and get the interest and give it a sadaqah? Maybe it is permissible. Stay away from it. You can't lose. So I advise the brother, speaking ill against any Muslim, okay? Differing, fighting, arguing, and bickering. A person taking a position in the stance without the necessary knowledge. All of these different issues and problems with the Muslim Ummah today. One of the reasons why these problems are being perpetuated is that we're avoiding the precaution. Okay, people, they say it's permissible to call a Muslim a bad name. Fulan said it, this one said it, he's a kadhab, he's a dajjal, he's kada, he's kada. So I'm going to call you a bad name on social media. I'm going to call you an insulting name. And then someone says, well, Akhi, well, you shouldn't say that. He's a Muslim. He said, no, it is permissible. Sheikh Fulan, Imam Fulan, he called this innovator a kada, and this person a kada, and he's called it a kada. All right, tayyib. Maybe it is permissible. Maybe that's from the ghib al-ja'iza. But is it the best thing for you to do? For you, enter, to slander someone, to insult someone? So, with regards to your brother, just give him advice. Why speak against any scholar? Why try to start any fight or argument against any Muslim if you don't have to? Give him advice what's best, billati hi ahsan, in the best manner, and avoid arguing with him. That's it. Make dua for him, be kind to him, and that's it. If he comes to you, if he has a question, if he wants to know something, you tell him, but don't fight with him, don't argue with him, okay? And ask Allah to guide him, and that's all you can do. Wallahu a'lam, lead by example. And yes, from London, UK. I know it's wrong to make dua against someone, but let's say hypothetically you do. What's going to happen to that person? Well, bad things happen to this person. Who said it's bad to make dua against someone? Empty your cup. Empty your cup, inshallah ta'ala. Empty your cup. It's bad to curse a specific Muslim. It's bad to make dua to split people up. That they shouldn't be split up. Things like this. But to say that it's bad to make dua for a person, absolutely. Certain times you do have to make dua against a person. It depends. What's important is the dua is what we do. What Allah does, we don't know. And we don't have no knowledge of that. Allah may answer the dua, He may not answer the dua. Whatever He has decreed to take place is going to take place. Wallahu alam. We don't monopolize dua. No one has the power, oh, as soon as I pray against you, you're automatically going to pass out and die. Nah, it doesn't work like that. SM Peterborough, UK. What are the book recommendations for a beginner student of knowledge who has some Arabic ability? Go back to 40 Hadith on Seeking Knowledge, Volume 2. It's an index on the necessary books of Talibul Ilm. Also, on different playlists, we've mentioned the books of Talibul Ilm. What books to study, who has Arabic, and Aqidah, and Fiqh, and Hadith, the Adab Talibul Ilm. We've explained that many, many, many times. A8S from London, UK. I once read somewhere close to the end of times, there'll be a lot more women on the earth than men. Is this true? Yes, it is. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned that in several hadiths. وَتَكْثُرُ النِّسَاءُ that the women will become abundant. حَتَّى يَكُونَ لِلْقَيِّمِ الْوَاحِدِ until one man will have 50 women under him. The authentic hadiths regarding this. And there are reasons why. There are reasons why. Arbaz Khan. Assalamu alaikum Mufti. AK, Reading UK. Would you recommend doing martial arts? Alaikum assalam. Yes, I would. Martial arts bring much good. Mental good, physical good, and inshallah ta'ala can help and be cohesive with your Islamic spirituality. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala, let alone self-defense and being physically strong and fit and having the ability to protect your honor and your wealth and your property and that of the Muslims. But the problem is many people, they think of martial arts only from one country. The first thing you think about martial arts is karate or kung fu or taekwondo or jiu-jitsu or judo or this and that, aikido. Nah. Martial arts is an art of anything martial. Fighting, killing, defending, force, a martial art, okay? Like we say, martial law. It's not specific to a country or a dress, okay? And wherever you go, there are people who know how to fight and defend themselves. Now, are certain martial arts more popular than others? Yes. Are certain martial arts more systematically laid out and so on and so forth? Yes. But a martial art could be boxing. Boxing is a martial art. A martial art could be learning how to grapple, how to wrestle, how to wrestle. Okay, martial arts doesn't just have to be from the Far East. That's the point I'm trying to get to. Wallahu alam. طيب. Question says, AS, London, UK. What time does Dhuhr end? Is it when a shadow reaches the same length of the object? If you don't have specific knowledge, worldly knowledge, and the Islamic knowledge of the natural calculation of time and direction, then go with the prayer schedule. Go with the prayer schedule. Alhamdulillah, there's so many different prayer schedules, calculations, and inshallah ta'ala, most of them are very accurate, very close. The moment you start looking at the sun, the direction, without the proper Islamic knowledge, what's meant by dhill shay, the shadow of a thing. Okay, what do you do when it's cloudy outside? When it's raining? Okay, the concept of a sundial. And there's no doubt about that in our hadiths. With regards to something being the same size as the shadow, double the size of the original object, excuse me. Yes, that's clear. But I wouldn't advise anyone to use that calculation unless they're skilled in the hadiths, in the fiqh, unless they're skilled in the worldly issues as well. Different directions. It's not rocket science. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying just be mindful. Wallahu alam. طيب. The next question says, Taliba of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Assalamu alaikum. What steps can one take to move overseas to an Islamic country? Barakallahu fikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fikum barakallah. Of course, you want to need money. You don't need to save your money up, inshallah. And you have to be realistic with regards to any medical issues that you may have with your children. You can't move to an Islamic country and you have a child that suffers from something that needs specific medical attention in a advanced country. Mentally prepare yourself with regards to sacrificing and why you're making hijrah and what's the importance of that hijrah. All right? These are general things that you're going to need, inshallah ta'ala. Prepare yourself. Save up money. Make sure you realize and you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. And Allah's earth is spacious. It may not be the best country or the easiest country to get into, but if you want to leave and make hijrah for Allah's sake, you'll find somewhere to go, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But know for sure that it's going to come with a cost and a price. And nothing is going to be for free. Meaning he's going to have to sacrifice. Wallahu a'lam. May Allah make it easy for you. Khairan, inshallah. Alright, this is going to be our last question that we're going to take here today. For now. Question says, from initials AS from London, UK. Do I have to keep ties of kinship with my father who is divorced from my mom? He has caused my mom a lot of pain and agony and caused the family many problems. He's still your father. Bottom line. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be here by Allah's permission. He's still your father. So make dua for him. Ask Allah to forgive him. Ask Allah to guide him. And give him advice. Give him advice. You may soften his heart. Allah may allow you to soften that man's heart. You may be the means of him not despairing and losing hope, of him making tawbah. And no matter what dhulm he did, he's still your father. He's still your father. And your mother is your mother. Inshallah ta'ala, she didn't cause you the pain and agony, but she's a human being. She has shortcomings. She has flaws. She's not perfect. So these your parents. You still respect them. You still love them. You still treat them a certain way, no matter what. And of course, a situation in which there's a great deal of wrongdoing, many problems. It's not going to be so simple and easy, but it's still your father. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Jazakumullahu khairan. We'll stop here today. May Allah bless each and every one of you.